Store Street, we have seen God working quietly but also quite powerfully, changing many people's lives. And we hope as you listen to this story that God will begin to work quietly but also quite powerfully in your life.
I just wanted to share a few things this evening to give you a little background of where I've come from and where I am now in my walk with the Lord. When you hear some people's testimonies of their journey in discovering the Lord, I feel very humbled by it. I feel very humbled coming here and sharing my own. I feel very fortunate in my journey that I've come from a background where I've grown up in a very loving family. My mother was absolutely fantastic, and she's my hero. I had a great education, went to a very good school, and my life for many years just coasted along quite happily. Or did it? There's a little verse that I just want to share with you. It's from a movie called The Dead Poets Society. I went to the woods because I wanted to live deliberately. I wanted to live deep and suck out all the marrow of life. To put to right all that was not life, and not when I had come to die, discover that I had not lived. That verse had a profound effect on me when I was a young teenager, and it really reinforced an ethos in my life at that stage of seize the day, carpe diem. I didn't want to live my life, and when my final day came, to feel genuinely within myself, I wish I had done something. I could have done that, or I should have done such and such. It really reinforced to me that I wanted to push my limits and not when my final day came to have regrets. And at that rough time in my life, I discovered cycling on a family holiday. We stopped in a little town and there was a bike race on. And it was all shiny spokes and screaming fans at the side of the road, and that was me. I was smitten. So I came home at the end of the summer and I got my first bike. But what happened over the following 10 years was very, very prolific in my life. And everything else paled into pure insignificance. From what started as a tiny seed in my life, morphed into something that pushed away family and friends. The only thing that I became concerned about over that period of years were things like body mass indexes, fat percentages, power to weight ratios and VO2 maxes, just a lot of gobbledygook. And through my sport I was desperately searching for something, a real inherent meaning and purpose in my life, my reason for being. I wanted to find inner fulfillment. I wanted a real tangible sense of satisfaction from the thing that I was doing, and most of all I wanted others' recognition of me. And I thought that going out for 7 hours every day on a bike, 7 days a week, trying to win races, would give me that real fulfillment. And not surprisingly, it never did. I think it's fair to say that cycling became my God. And you know, when I was thinking about what I was going to say, I actually thought maybe Scott Hamilton was my God. All my energy, my concerns, my priorities and my emphasis in my life was on absolutely nothing else but myself. My cycling career culminated in being selected for the World Championships in '96 in Lugano in Switzerland. The following year then I was selected for the World Championships and European Championships. And in 1997 as well I got a place with a team in Toulouse. And 1997 was a pivotal year in my life, because it was the year that the House of Cards came tumbling down. In 1998 I got selected for the Commonwealth Games, but essentially it was all over even before I got on the plane to go. For 10 years of my life I had perpetuated this facade that this thing, this cycling, this sport was my purpose for being. It was everything, nothing else mattered. And I relied on this man-made support structure around me that this was the thing that was going to keep me in the direction that I wanted to go. And just like that, 10 years evaporated into absolutely nothing. There were many dark days that followed after that. And there were many walks in the middle of the night to try and figure out what I had to try and do to get to the other side. I remember one night, 2 o'clock in the morning, I drove from Lisburn to Newcastle and walked along the beach. Behind all this, though, I grew up in a family where I was told about Jesus. I was told about the stories in the Bible. I heard about the miracles that Jesus did. But I had absolutely no relationship with him whatsoever. I suppose in hindsight, when I look back now, that's why I never cried out to Jesus for help when I was going through the dark days that I went through following my cycling. However, during that time, I would have argued the bit out that I had faith. I had some arguments as well after I got married to Sophia, where she would say quite the contrary. And I would say, no, I do have faith. It's my faith. It's personal to me. And I don't feel I need to share it. Boy, has that changed. There's a great line in the book Great Expectations. I love old black and white movies. I think they're great. And there's a scene where Joe Gargery comes through the streets of London. It's set in Victorian London. And this man, he's a spit and sawdust blacksmith from the moors. And his son has become a man of great expectation. He's in London making his way in the world. And Pip is in the upstairs room. And he looks down at Joe Gargery coming to visit him. And this man walks and he stumbles his way through the streets of London under the window to try and find where Pip's living. And in the movie they depict him wearing a big top hat that's too big for him, and an overcoat that doesn't fit him. And Pip says something that is absolutely phenomenal. He says, "There never was a swindler like a self-swindler, and with such pretense that I cheat myself." And that's exactly what I did. I swindled myself that I had a relationship with Jesus. I put Jesus into this little cubby hole, this little pigeonhole, and I said, okay, it suits me to have you there. And that was the only space I allowed him to have in my life. I compartmentized him. Essentially what I was trying to do was to shape God to fit the lifestyle and the priorities that I wanted in my life. And it wasn't a case where God was in fact shaping me. What I hadn't done was open myself up to him to be shaped. I was trying to get him to fit into what I wanted him to be. So I refused to openly talk about Jesus. That didn't fit my compartment where he was supposed to go. No, you go into that compartment and I'm happy for you to stay there. I may have faith in you and I may believe in you, but you just stay in there. And you know, in hindsight, I have to look back and I think, I was embarrassed about Jesus. Thankfully, the Lord has stripped away over the past period of time all the barriers that I put up. He stripped away my need for notoriety. He stripped away my need for respect from others, the accolades that I searched for. He has stripped away this ginormous ego. Some may say I still have it. I think my wife may say I still have it from time to time. But I wouldn't say that with the Lord into my life that it has been a huge change overnight. It has been a journey of real gradual but yet very tangible, granular changes. The pride and the arrogance and the stubbornness that I had in truckloads is just being knocked to pieces every day. He has really profoundly spoken into my life and has just made me understand to such depth that I'm not even a grain of sand without Jesus Christ in my life. I find that Jesus Christ in my life humbles me in so many ways. I find that whenever I look around me and I see what's going on in the world around, I just thank so much that Jesus has come and His Spirit has come and dwelled in my heart. I think He's given me such understanding now. I read these stories of Jesus in the Bible and they just spring to life now. It's fantastic. It's brilliant. They're not dead words anymore. I find He's changing my lifestyle choices. He's giving me sensitivity, and I certainly wouldn't say that would be a natural part of my personality. I also just find, in terms of person to person, that what I see within the church family that I have around me, I just see such strength in God's love. And I just pray that that will be spread throughout the town of Donaghadee. When I look back and I just think, I had a talent, the Lord gave me a talent. And my attitude then was, He gave me a talent, so I'm going to use it. My mistake was that I decided I would use it how I pleased and not how He had chosen for me to use it. Yes, God gave me a talent, but it was to glorify Him with. I actually tried to take that talent and try and walk off with it. I find now it amazing the changes that He's made with me now. He has found and He has showed me talents that I never dreamt that I would have. I find now that I'm working with young people. Boy, I wouldn't have described that. I wouldn't have felt that I would have been able to do that. And it is such a rewarding experience. There's a little piece in Romans 12 that I just find is very poignant. Because of the privilege and authority God has given me, I give each of you this warning. Don't think you are better than you really are. Be honest in your evaluation of yourselves, measuring yourself by the faith God has given you. Just as our bodies have many parts and each part has a special function, so it is with Christ's body. We are many parts of one body and we all belong to each other. In His grace, God has given us different gifts for doing certain things well. So if God has given you the ability to prophesy, speak out with as much faith as God has given you. If your gift is serving others, serve them well. If you're a teacher, teach well. If your gift is to encourage others, be encouraging. If it is giving, give generously. If God has given you leadership ability, take the responsibility seriously. And if you have a gift for showing kindness to others, do it gladly. Just don't pretend to love others. Really love them. Hate what is wrong. Hold tightly to what is good. Love each other with genuine affection. And take delight in honoring each other.